Yeah, just allowing a bit more time for people to join. There was a delay in the link that was sent out to some of the students. So we're just going to give it a little bit more time to give everyone a chance to join. Please give the do now questions, question 1 to 4, that's up on the board, a go in the meantime. Lee, I just want to remind you about the bring everyone to me.
Yes. It's gone and grayed itself out again. Marilise, we were having this issue earlier. When I click on bring everyone to me, then it's grayed out. It doesn't want to do it. What should I do?
Lee, have you opened the board in a different tab?
Yes, I did earlier because we couldn't access it through.
Lee, just check that pop-up message isn't in your address bar. Remember where Eric pointed you to?
Okay, that was up here. No, it's not there anymore.
And you are signed into Miro.
And I am signed in. I haven't done anything. I haven't adjusted anything. I haven't changed anything. So I can't understand why. That's bizarre, isn't it?
I think for the time being, just verbally direct the students to where you need them to go.
Okay.
That's not really the best solution. Lee, do you have this open in your browser?
I do.
So are you sharing from your browser?
No, Matt suggested that I go in before coming and trying to open up Miro on Whereby because it wouldn't allow me to do exactly this. So that's what I done, and then I just left it open, but I can close it. I'm not sure if that's going to.
So try shift refresh again.
Okay.
Stop sharing the Miro whiteboard, and let's try this again.
Matt, is she sharing through the integration or through her web browser?
Through the integration.
Yeah, I'm sharing through the integration.
Okay.
Do you want me to stop or do you want me to? Don't think did that make a difference? No, I can't even see that button any longer. The bring to me.
Okay.
I think we must just start because there's quite a few people here, and we can get going. It's already almost past, so should we just do it?
Okay.
Okay.
Can I?
Right. So, hi everybody. I'm Marilise, and welcome to your grade 12 live lesson at Watobi. We're very excited to have you all here. So the first thing we're going to do is just test some of the functions that you can use while you're in the live lesson. So at the bottom of your screen, you should see a chat icon. And if you hover on that chat icon, a bunch of emojis should show up. So right now, I want everyone, let's wave at each other and say, hi, how are you doing today? Great. Good to see you all. Right.
Awesome.
So when you click on that chat function, it should open up on the side panel, and that is where you can type any question that you have fully, or if you want to give an answer, you can also type it in the chat. So we can all, I think what we can do to test our chat is let's type where we are all from. So I am in Cape Town. I wonder if there are any other Cape Townians here. I'm from Cape Town. Let's see. Just type in the chat. Durban. Nice.
Joburg South, Johannesburg.
Lovely. Quite a few people from Joburg here. Sure. Hi, Kanya, also from Cape Town. Eswatini, wow. That's great. So we already have one question from Tandukazi. And Tandukazi, we are basically going to teach you from scratch as far as possible so that you are ready for when your school does this, which should be soon because grade 12s do this in this term or relatively soon. Okay, right, everyone, now that we've got that done, I'm going to hand over to a few things that I just want to mention. While you are here in this lesson, you are going to work with Miss Lee. So you need pen and paper with you to write down the sums and to work everything out and to work as hard as you can, because remember, this is your matric year. You don't have a lot of time. You must really make the most of this. So write down and ask questions and actively try your best to answer the questions that she gives you. So that's the one thing. Use the chat, type in the chat. We will read what you type in the chat. And then after Ms. Lee is done, I will come on again and tell you what you can do on the app for this section. Okay, but right now I'm going to hand over to Ms. Lee to start the lesson. Good luck, everyone, and enjoy it. I'll see you a bit later.
Good evening, students. It's really nice to be able to be here with you this evening. Just because there was a question about whether someone hasn't done this before at school, can I just ask you to use your chat button and just communicate with me? A thumbs up if you've already done calculus and a thumbs down if you haven't done calculus yet, please. Okay, so that's, okay, cool. Okay, so there's one thumbs down, another thumb up. Perfect. Okay, so 2 people haven't, but the rest of you have. Okay, so, all right, you haven't done it yet. Okay, never mind. Even if you haven't done it, you should be able to follow what we're doing here. But the finer details of what it means and that kind of thing, I think your teachers will obviously teach you at school. The very first question that you're going to be asked in your exam is going to be a question on first principles. And this is a level 1 type of question or level 2 type question. So it's a sort of question that everybody should be getting 5 out of 5 for. I had prepared this slide where I wanted you to do a little bit of expanding brackets and a little bit of squaring of binomials, because this helps you with first principles. Have you guys had a chance to work through questions 1 to 4? Can I show you the answers? Thumbs up. Fabulous. Okay, so these are the answers as I worked them out to be. I hope you can see what I'm seeing. So for the first question, I got 2x minus 6. For the second question, I got minus 1 plus 3x squared. For the second question, don't forget about that middle term. Okay, so x squared, that's actually a square. It doesn't look like it, but it is. X squared plus 2xy plus y squared. And then the very last one, square the binomial first and then multiply through by 2. So hopefully we all got, I can't see the answers. Does that help a little bit? Same? Okay, give me a second. I do not understand why you can't see the answers here. I think it might have something to do. Marilise, what must I do?
Guys, if you're on your phone, you can extend the screen. So if you are on your phone, there's a button that you can use. There's a 3 dots that you can use to extend the screen. Your phone, if you're on your laptop and you just put your mouse over the screen, a little hand should come up and you can move the screen. And you just put your mouse over the board where the answers are. The screen. The board where the answers are.
Okay, can you see them now?
Okay, so I see some are saying yes, they can. Okay,
So
if you're not sorted, please let us know, because you have to be able to see the answer. If you're not sorted, please let us know.
Has everybody been able to mark from number 1 through to number 4 now? Thumbs up if you have, thumbs down if you haven't. Fabulous. Good stuff. And was that fairly easy, straightforward? We got full marks. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Good stuff. Okay, well done. Good, I'm glad, brilliant. Okay, so particularly question number 4, that's something that we need to be able to do. So the idea is I'm going to do a question with you, and then after that, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do 2 questions as well, okay? So one of the things that you will always be given in the exam is the formula that we need for first principles. So the formula for first principles, is everybody able to see it? It's the one that I've just moved now. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Can we all see that? So f prime x equals the limit as h tends to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Okay, so that is the formula that we're going to sub into. The other thing that we need to be careful of here as well is that they will mark us down if we happen to use the incorrect notation, or if anything that we write has got incorrect notation. So not to put any extra pressure on you, but unfortunately that is going to happen here as well. So it's better for you just to be aware of it at the beginning, okay? The way that I like to start these sorts of questions is as follows. I can already see what f of x is equal to. So my first step is always to write down what f of x plus h is equal to. So I'm going to substitute, everywhere that I see an x, I'm going to substitute x plus h. So I'm going to take 2 open brackets, x plus h squared minus 1. Can you see now why example number 4 was a helpful thing for us to be able to do? This is exactly what the skills that we need. Okay, so we're going to leave the 2 on the outside and we're going to square the binomial. So that's going to give us x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 1. And then my last step, removing the brackets, I'm going to end up with 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared minus 1. So now I have an expression for f of x plus h. Now I can go ahead and I can substitute into my formula. So I'm going to write down f prime x, so the derivative. So the limit as h tends to 0, and I have to write this until a certain point, and I'll explain to you when that is. And now I'm going to substitute in for f of x plus h, I'm going to write 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared minus 1. But I'm not finished, because the other thing that I need to do is I need to subtract f of x from this. Now, most of the time, f of x is going to be a binomial, so I've got to remember to change the signs. So either you can change the signs first and then substitute in, or you can write minus and then write your brackets. So here we would put 2x squared. Let's just move this over. Can everybody see that okay? Thumbs up? Cool beans. Okay, and then I needed to say minus 1 inside here. Okay, now be super, super careful, students. What often happens here is that the h disappears. Okay, so don't worry about spacing. Try and leave at least one line between each of these so that you can see what's in the numerator and the denominator, and so that the person marking your stuff can see what's in the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so now we're going to have to get rid of those brackets and then collect some like terms. So that means that we have to keep our limit notation for now, all right? And that's what they will penalize you for if you drop it too early. So we're going to keep our limit notation, and in the numerator, we're going to end up with 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared minus 1 minus 2x squared plus 1. And then all of this, whoopsie, skew line, is going to be over h like so. Everybody happy?
Lee, this is Eric speaking.
Yes.
Could you please take the link of this board and send it to us on Slack, please? That's going to help you bring everyone to me. So if you take...
How do you want me to do that, please, Eric?
So if you click share on this board, you should see you just copy the link and then send it on Slack, and we'll help you get that feature up and running.
Okay.
So just send it in the live classes thing. Thanks.
Oh, should I just put it into there? Okay.
Yeah.
Should I put it into the chat? No.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Don't put it here in the Whereby chat. Rather, put it in Slack.
Okay.
Because I can tell that some learners are struggling to follow along to know where you are here on the board. So
yes. Okay. Should I just include you, or is there other people that I should include?
I'll just drop the link there in the live classes and it'll be enough.
It doesn't, I can't do that, Eric. It says invite board from Slack.
Oh yeah. Click skip. Click skip that. It's trying to integrate, it's trying to install an app into Slack. Just click skip or later.
I don't have, should I do this later? Well, I suppose it's not going to help me do it later.
Okay. Can you send it to Mary-Lise on WhatsApp or something else?
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Just send it to her, and Mary-Lise, please click the link when Lee sends it, and then you'll be able to bring everyone to you. Thanks.
Okay.
Got it.
Has my board gone away now?
No, we can see your board, Lee.
Can you still see the board?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm just going to quickly send this to you, Mary-Lise. There you go, sent it to you.
Great. So within a minute or so, you should be able to use that bring everyone to me feature.
Okay. How do I, sorry, I've now got a, a screen in front of my Miro whiteboard where I was copying the link. How do I get rid of this copy link?
Yeah. Click somewhere else on the board, I suppose. Maybe put them.
I am, and it's not going away.
If it's not going away, then maybe just refresh the whole browser page or something.
Okay, so can I just shift and refresh again?
You don't even have to click. Just
refresh. Okay.
Apologies for the technical issues, everyone. We'll be back soon.
Okay, so I'm going to shift that up. Okay, my apologies for our technical issues. We should be all right now. Okay, let's continue going. Go back to writing. Okay, so again, we're not going to drop our limit notation yet. We'll discuss when we are ready to do so, but not just yet. And in the numerator, we've got some terms that can be simplified. So if we have a look, we've got 2x squared, and then over here, we've got minus 2x squared. So that's going to add up to 0. Over here, we've got minus 1, and here we've got plus 1, so that will also add up to 0. So the only 3 terms that are left in the numerator are 2x squared. Does somebody want to tell me the next term I should write? You can either put it in the chat or you're welcome to unmute and tell me. Does no one know what I should write next? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs down. That's right, it cancelled out. Okay, so now at least I can see you struggling a little bit with this. Okay, not a problem. Where did I lose you? Did I lose you on the second line? If you can communicate with me in the chat, or you're welcome to unmute. Okay, my apologies. Do you think that it would be easier for me to go back and just start again from this second line onwards? Yes, the 2x squared will cancel out. Okay. All right, maybe us having technical difficulties in between was a little bit difficult. All right, so I'm going to go back here and I'm going to rub this out. Don't worry, we're going to write it again right now. So, am I correct in thinking that at this point, everybody was still following me? We were subbing into our formula, okay, for the derivative by first principles. Can I have it? Is that right? Yes, thank you. Okay, lovely. All right, so good stuff. Thank you very much. All right, if I do lose you, please do not be afraid to let me know. You're more than welcome to stop me and ask me to clarify something. Okay, this has to be to your benefit. Okie dokes. So we're going to carry on going from this point over here. Is everybody all right with the idea that what we've got, let's just do this in a little bit of a different color. What we've got is these 4 terms here. This one over here, that one there, this term here, and that term there are f of x plus h. And then I've written minus, and then what is represented over here is f of x. So what I've done is I've said f of x plus h, and I have subtracted f of x. Okay, f of x plus h is 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared minus 1. Okay, it's quite long. Is everybody okay with that? Great. So now when I have a negative in front of brackets, what's going to happen to the terms inside? Because I want to take those brackets away, don't I? So what's going to happen to the terms inside? Can someone tell me? Become negative, quite right. So 2x squared would become, signs will change 100%. Okay, so if something was positive, it'll be negative, and if something was negative, it'll be positive. So I'm going to continue writing my limit notation. And now I'm going to bring down the 4 terms that made up f of x plus h. So 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared minus 1. And now, as you had said to me, and perfectly right, I'm going to change the sign of the 2x squared. So this is now going to be minus 2x squared. And then I'm going to change the sign of the negative 1. Negative times a negative is going to give me a positive. So it's going to be plus 1. And then all of this has to be over h. Okay, so all I've done from this step over here to the one that I'm on currently is I've removed the brackets and I've changed the signs. Now I've got like terms. So I have to add and subtract like terms where possible. All right, so if I change my color and I go back and I use, let's use the screen over here, we can see that we have an x squared term here at the beginning, and we have an x squared term over here as well. Okay, what are those two going to add up to? Can someone tell me? 2x squared minus 2x squared, what would I get? 0, quite right. Perfect. I would get 0. So am I going to write 0? That's right, I'm going to get 0. Am I going to write 0 here? Do I need to? No, I don't need to write 0 because I'm going to have other terms. Exactly, I don't need to write 0. The other thing that I've got to notice over here, let's use a different color, not pink, let's use purple, all right? The other thing that I've got is a minus 1 over here and a plus 1 over there. So what are those going to add up to? Also 0, exactly. Okay, 100%. So that means there are only going to be 2 terms from here that need to come down, and that's going to be the 4xh plus 2h squared. What's left? That's right. Okay, and now what am I going to do? Next step is to, can anybody tell me? Take out h, quite right, excellent. So I'm going to take, that's it, as an HCF. So I'm going to take out h as a highest common factor. That's going to leave me with 4x plus 2h all over h. Now that I have factorized, I can cancel that h over there. And now you can actually go straight to writing down your answer. So here, we would then end up writing okay, and what has to happen over here is that we have to substitute the 0, but we're not allowed to write it. So we see that if we were to substitute 0 into the second term over here, we would have 2 times 0, which is 0, but we're not allowed to show that. Okay, so we simply write down our answer, which in this case is going to be equal to 4x. And of course, once we've checked that, we can use the power rule just to double check that we've done it correctly. Okay, for those people that haven't done calculus yet, you won't know what the power rule is, but if we go back up and we have a look at the question, 2x squared minus 1, if we use the power rule, then we would definitely end up with 4x as our answer. This is out of 5. Where do you think the 5 marks are allocated? Do you think knowing where the marks are allocated is important for you as a student? I think so too. I think so too. So let's quickly do that, and then you guys can carry on with practicing one yourself. Okay, so let's show you where the marks would be allocated. Let's just get that, and let's get a different color. Okay, all right. So there is going to be a mark for you correctly working out what f of x plus h is. All right, so in other words, for f of x plus h, you're going to get a mark. All right, then you're going to receive another mark for substituting it in. There will be another accuracy mark for simplification. After you've done that, there is going to be a mark for factorizing. And then the last mark is going to be for the answer. Remember, if you drop your limit notation too early, they're going to penalize you. Okay, so you only drop your limit notation after you've factorized out your H. All right, and then in your next step, you're allowed to drop it and write down what the answer is. Okay, I've spoken enough. I think it's an opportunity. The opportunity has now arrived for you guys to do a little bit of work here. I have selected 3 questions for you. So I hope you appreciate my sense of humor. A green question is always the easiest one. A purple question is like a medium question. That would be the sort of most likely question that you would get. And then the one with the orange with the beast next to it is my beast question. So I'm challenging you to try a beast question if you want to, at least once in a lesson. Okay, so the idea behind this is that you guys would be able to try 2 of these. I'm not sure whether we've got enough time. We've got 20 minutes, but we did start a little bit late. So let's see if you're able to do 2 of these, and then I can share the answers with you and I can assist you if you get stuck. Is that okay?
I wonder if they know who Beast is.
Yes. Do you know who the Beast is?
People from Durban must know who Beast is. You can tell us. Who knows? You can just unmute yourself and then you can answer if you know who Beast is. Anyone? Any rugby fans here? Luyanda, do you want to tell us?
The guy from Zimbabwe. There we go.
Yeah. Luyanda, do you want to tell us? Do you know who Beast is?
Unfortunately, I'm not a rugby fan.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Okay. All right. So try these. Oh, he owns that big security company now. I didn't know that.
Okay. His life after rugby, I guess.
Certainly. Okay. So everybody is going to try 2 questions, please. Thank you. Are there any questions? Is anybody struggling? Yes, for these kinds of questions, you're always going to assume that h tends to 0. And there's a very specific reason for that. The reason why h is tending to 0 is because the distance between 2 points is becoming smaller and smaller. So h represents the distance between 2 points, because what we're actually trying to do is find the gradient at a point rather than between points. So yes, for what we're doing here, h always tends to 0. Will never be anything else. Any other questions you guys want to ask me? Everybody managing, no questions? Good stuff, well done. Good, I'm glad. Then I think what you can do is, as soon as you have managed to finish 2 questions, I mean, obviously you need, yeah, at least 10 minutes to be able to do that. Maybe what you can do is send me a little thing like that, and then I know that you finished 2. Okay, is there anybody who tried the green question? Okay, there we go. We've got 2 people who've done 2. Yes, I tried the green one. Okay. All right, so if you tried the green question, can you please tell me what you got as an answer? You can unmute yourself. Don't be afraid. Who did the green question? I know somebody said I did a green one. Fair enough. If you haven't done this before, it could be a little bit confusing. Okay, so Luyanda, which question did you do?
I attempted the first one, the green one, even though I'm not done yet.
Okay.
calculus, the first one.
All right. So who's Kanya? Hi, Kanya. All right. Now, I saw you put the little man with a hat in there. You did 2 questions. Which questions did you do, Kanya? Can you unmute yourself?
I'm trying, but it's not.
There we go.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, Kanya.
I did the green and purple.
Okay, so are you happy to share an answer with the green one with us, please? What did you get as your final answer?
-7.
-7 is the right answer. We're going to have a look at that now. Well done. Anybody else get -7 as the answer for the green one? So thumbs up or thumbs down. Yay, well done. Very nice. Good job. Excellent. Okay, and then I saw somebody say I did a purple one and I did the green one. So we've spoken about the green one. Now a purple one. Let me pick on somebody else. Everybody's else. Who's Nala? Did orange. Oh, cool. All right, well, we're going to look at that one now. Who's Nala? Oh, you're Nala. Hi, Nala. Which 2 questions did you do?
I did the red and the purple.
Oh, wow. Brilliant. Okay, would you please share your purple answer with us?
For my purple, I got 2x.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's perfect. Well done. All right, we're going to have a look at the answers now. And then there was somebody who said that they did the orange question. Yeah, good stuff. Well done. Who did the orange question? Virginia, is that you?
I did it.
Okay,
Yes,
all right. So what did you get as an answer for the orange question?
4x.
4x. Let's have a look.
Yes.
Okay, I quite agree with you. That should have been the answer. Now, as we had spoken about earlier, what's really, oh no, hang on a second. Just 4x? I'm just looking again now. Was it just 4x that you got?
Yes.
Okay, should have been 4x minus 1.
Yeah. Oh. What? Okay.
Okay, don't stress, no stress. I've got all the answers over here. So what I did is I copied the answers as you would have them marked from the matric papers. So here is the green one. Let me just move this green block off here. Okay, so anybody who did the green one, there's your solution. So subbing in f of x plus h minus f of x, cancelling your x's, your h's, and then -7 is your answer. Okay, that's quite an easy question. We haven't been seeing a lot of those sorts of linear functions in, is that okay? Is everybody happy with that? Can we move down to the next one? Thumbs up. Okay, now for those of you that did the purple question, okay, there you go. So I think it's important for you to see where the marks would be allocated. I hope that that's clear enough for everybody. So can you see there's an accuracy mark on the x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 5. Okay, so that's subbing in x of x plus h. Then there is an accuracy mark on simplifying. So what they've done here already is they've said f of x plus h minus f of x. And they've got 2x plus h squared, but if you just had that here and you didn't have it here, they wouldn't mind. Then factorizing would be the next mark, so taking out h. Then writing our limit as h tends to 0 of 2x plus h. And then finally 2x is our answer. Okay, so who did the purple one and got 5 out of 5? Well done. Oh, brilliant. Well done. Good stuff. Cool beans. All right. Okay. Are there any questions that you want to ask about the green or the purple so far? Is that quite straightforward? Okay. Now let's have a look at my beast question. Okay. Just make that a little bit bigger as well. Okay. So this one was out of 6. This is quite a lot of marks for first principles, but anyway, there we go. So again, can you see there's an accuracy mark for f of x plus h? Then there's another mark for simplifying. So that means for saying f of x plus h minus f of x. So you can mark your work. Okay, for using the correct formula, for substituting into the formula, and then for the final answer. Who was chatting to me earlier and said that they got 4x for this? And then we said it should be 4x minus 1. Who was that? Was it Virginia? No. Somebody was talking to me and saying, Neo.
Most people usually leave after their kid wrestles, and you play for someone nuts.
Was it you, Virginia, that you tried this question? I can't remember.
Ma'am, I got 4x minus 1.
Did you? Okay, so you're fine. Okay, perfect. All right. So have you got 6 out of 6, Virginia?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well done. And Neo, what have you got? Are there any questions? Is there anything that I need to go through with you? Does anybody want to ask me anything? Please unmute yourself and speak to me. It's no problem at all. Sure, no questions?
Hello,
Can
am
I
I
ask something?
unmuted?
Of course. What do you want to know, Leander?
How do you know when it's time for us to get rid of them? And will they ever change from what they are currently from the sum that you did?
When you say get rid of them, what do you mean? Get rid of what exactly?
Okay, not get rid of them necessarily, but you see how in the second step you have a limit, like the second last step, you have a limit,
Yes.
and then at the end, 4x minus 1. For the last question,
Yes.
the red one.
Yes. Are you asking me, how do you know when you're not supposed to write that anymore? Okay, all right. So in other words, what's happened in this step over here is you have, sorry, let me get my pen the right way around, is after you have factorized, which is this step over here, okay, that is actually when, please can you spend the orange one in detail? Or if you want, I can do it with you if you like, if that would make it a little bit better. But perhaps what we need to do is just give some of the other people that managed one more question to try while we go through this one. The idea, Luyanda, is after you have factorized out the H, you can actually go straight from this step over here, which I've sort of colored in orange, to the answer over there. All right, I know they've allocated a mark for this, but they would give you that mark anyway. The idea is that once you factorized out the H, any remaining terms with H in them would then become 0. So the only terms that would be left that would form part of your answer would be terms that didn't contain H. All right, so you only drop the limit notation after you've factorized out the H. Okay, you can't drop it before then. Okay. So after you factorized it out, you would then, if there was a term, still a term containing H, you would sub that in, but you wouldn't write it down. And then you would write down the remaining terms without the H in them. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so now let's just go back and have a look at a couple of other questions here on the side, and then we can talk about the orange one just a little bit. Okay. So you can see where all of these questions came from. The green one was out of 2019. The purple one was out of 2018, 2017. So here we've got an exit ticket for a couple of people. My suggestion is that if you found what we did today really, really easy, then you can try the second question, which is the November 2015. Or if you struggled with this a little bit and you feel that you need a little bit more practice, then you could try the 2016 paper. All right. Whoever's feeling confident and wants to carry on with those questions now is very welcome. Can I go back through the orange question again? Is there anybody? I know somebody said they wanted me to do that.
Lee, as you do that, could you try again, see if that bring everyone to me feature is working now? Just see if...
There we go.
There we go.
It
Thank
is. You. There we go. Thank you so much. Is that better? Okay. All right. So who thinks they're going to try the 2016 question? You're feeling confident, you know what you're doing, you want to try a beast question, but you want to try the 2016 question. Okay, cool. Good stuff. Lovely. Is there anybody feeling confident enough to try the 2015 question? Cool beans. Okay. All right. Lovely. Well done. Oh, good. That's wonderful. Well done. All right. And then I presume the other people that haven't responded to me were people that are feeling unhappy. Well, not unhappy, but you just want a little bit of clarity with the orange question. Is that correct? So who will listen to me when we talk about this 2017? Can you just give me a thumbs up, please? Okay. Linda. All right, so there's a few of you. All right, not a problem. Okay, so let's move that out the way. The rest of you, you've written down these two questions. You know what you're working on. We can come back to those at the end. Okay, and let's have a look at this. Okay, so Luyanda, what do we want to do as our first step? What's the first thing that we want to write down? We want to write down f of x plus h. Okay, so that's the idea. All right, we're going to write down f of x plus h. So everywhere where we saw an x, we are now going to substitute x plus h. So into the orange one, the 2017 paper, we're going to write 2 open brackets. Then we're going to write x plus h squared minus x plus h. And the brackets here are super important, okay, because when we're going to subtract a binomial, we've got to remember to change the signs of the terms inside the brackets, okay? So now that we've written that down, now we can go about removing all the brackets. The easiest thing for us to do is to leave the 2 on the outside, square our binomial. That leaves us with x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus x. And then over here at the very end, let me just have a look here, chat. People. I don't know if it's Luyanda or Luazi. Either one of the two of you had said to me that this was something that was difficult for you to understand. Who was it? Was it Luyanda or Luazi, or both of you?
It was actually me. It
Was
was
it
not the fact that it
you?
was difficult. We just never went through calculus in class. We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay. So that's why you're just finding it a little bit difficult to understand. Okay. All right. That's fine. Luyanda, is it making sense so far? So we're substituting and we're removing brackets. Okay, so now we're going to end up with 2 times x squared is going to give us 2x squared. 2 times 2xh is 4xh. 2 times h squared is 2h squared minus x minus h. That's a really long expression, isn't it? Okay, so our formula says that what we need to do is we need to subtract f of x from this. All right, so you can see in the answers, I mean, you can set it out this way. If you do it when you're in the formula already, when you've subbed in, it's also not a problem. But they set it out like this, and they said, let's work out what f of x plus h minus f of x is equal to. Oh, you're done with the 2015 question. Well done. Okay, so we're going to look at those answers right now. I'm just going to get through this, and then we can go and have a look at those answers. So we're going to end up with 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared minus x minus h. And from that, we need to subtract f of x. Okay, so when we subtract f of x is 2x squared minus x. Because it's a binomial, it has to change its sign, or those two terms have to change their sign. So it's going to be minus 2x squared, and then minus minus, I'm going to have plus x. Now I'm ready to go and substitute into my formula. Okay, so I'm going to need to see that. So now subbing into one second. Subbing into prime x. Okay, you're done with the questions. No problem. We're going to be there with you in 2 seconds. All right, our limit as h tends to 0, and we've already done f of x plus h minus f of x. So we've got 2x squared plus 4xh. Oh, actually, you know what? There's actually not even any point in doing that. We can make this so much easier because, as we were discussing earlier, we've got like terms. All right, so we've got 2x squared minus 2x squared, so that would give us 0. And we've got minus x plus x, which would also give us 0. So the only terms that are going to be left is going to be 4xh plus 2h squared minus h. Okay, so that has essentially added up to 0 with this, and that has essentially added up to 0 with that. Okay, now we're at that stage where we need to factorize. So we're going to take out the h, and we're going to be left with 4x plus 2h, whoopsie, not plus, minus 1. Now that we have factorized, we can cross out our h's. Our final answer, this middle term, is going to become 0, because as h tends to 0, so this middle term would become 0, which means that we are simply left with 4x minus 1. Okay. All right, so now for those of you that had done the other questions, let's just go over here and have a look at the answers. So very typical questions, 5 marks, and those are certainly 5 marks that we want everybody to have. Okay, so here was the first answer for your exit ticket. Let's just bring this down a little bit. Hang on a second. I don't know why the bring to me has gone away again. Okay, so this was the first question. All right, so did you get 6x as an answer? Those of you who did the 2016 paper? Did you manage to get 6x?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Well done. Oh, brilliant, guys. I'm so pleased. Well done. That's great. Okay, and then the second question, Shane, you've been waiting a little bit of a while for this. Here's the second one. We can just look at it right here. Cool. I'm so glad to see those thumbs up. That's brilliant. Okay, and then this was the 2015 one. Okay, so also a bit of a beast question. Did you get 2x minus 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Oh, I'm so pleased. Well done, guys. That's excellent. Give yourselves a big round of applause. That is beautiful. Okay, nice. Well done. I'm really, really pleased. Okay, that's great. That's great. Are there any questions that you want to ask? Is there anybody that's stuck, lost, confused? Any questions before we clock off? No questions. Does that mean no? The thumbs down. Does that mean there are no questions? Okay, so now, all right. Okay, cool beans. So, well, not unfortunately, but what's going to be part of our course is we want you to do just a little bit of homework every week. Okay, so the homework that we're going to assign to you, it's just going to be one question or a couple of questions. In this case, because first principles does take quite a long time, it's just going to be one question. So I would like you to go and have a look on the app. You guys are going to have to write this down, or maybe what I should do is I'll just pop it in here.
Lee, I've got something prepared for them that I can
have you? Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to, sorry, do you want to talk to them now?
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just quickly going to share my screen. So the questions, I'm just going to stop. I hope we can get them back up now that it's gone. Okay, so I'm just going to share quickly. Okay, guys, so this was your first lesson on calculus, and we did first principles, and there you can see what we're going to cover as well: derivative rules, tangent, cubic sketching, and then we're going to do some more exam type questions. Okay, so before we carry on, I just want to do a quick check-in, and I want you just to say, on a scale from 1 to 10, how well did you understand today's lesson? And just put your answer in the chat. On a scale from 1 to 10, how well did you understand the lesson? Wow, we've got 10s and 9s. That's excellent. Well done. Don't be shy to say what you felt.
Someone's got a 6. I'm so sorry.
6.
7.
If you haven't done this in school and this was your first time, then that's okay. You're definitely going to have more chance to practice and look at it again.
You're on mute, Marilise.
Got it.
Oh, there we go.
So on the app, you go to calculus, the topic that says calculus, and you will see there is a topic called first principles. You first get introduction to calculus. You can watch those videos too if you to get a bit of background into calculus. And then there's 3 lessons there that you can do on first principles. I would suggest the first 2 based on what we did in the lesson today: linear functions and quadratic functions. And maybe Lee will cover rational functions next time, because those are a little bit harder, but please go have a look and give those a go. Right, so that's all from my side. Thank you for bearing with us with the technical issues we've had, and thank you all for coming today. It was really great to have you all, and we'll be back. Remember, Tuesday we carry on with the rest of the calculus. Lee, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, nothing else that I wanted to add at this point. I just hope that that was helpful to everybody and that you enjoyed the lesson.
Yeah. Right, guys, so next week, Tuesday, same time, same place. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.
There we go.
There we go.
Shame, Lee, that wasn't the most
Right.
interactive class.
No,
You're
they're
not
not.
answering any questions.
No, they didn't want to answer too many questions. Am I boring?
No.
I'm boring.
Look, they did a lot in the chat.
Yeah, did
I
they?
mean, it is quite intense, the first principles. So
It is. It is. I feel as though some of it was like for the people that have done it, it was really, really easy. I mean, if what they're saying is true. But I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't really get much harder than that. So I suppose if anything, at least it was a good practice for the first question.
Can I ask something? Is first principles how differentials are usually introduced in South Africa?
Well, actually, normally what we end up doing, well, I don't know about anybody else, but we actually first end up speaking about what a limit is, but you don't need to calculate limits. So I always introduce it by first of all speaking about what a limit is, because you need to understand what a limit is in order to do first principles. And then, yes, then you go straight into first principles. It's the first exam question. So in the matric paper on calculus.
Actually, it seems to me like it's much easier to just learn the quick way of a derivative, and then to go back and learn the first principles reasons why it's like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would just do, if I saw 2x squared plus x, I would just say bring the 2 down. Now you got 4x plus 1, and I would then in a later lesson go and explain why it works that way. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the way CAPS is.
Yeah, that is the way that CAPS is set up as well. So we always do first principles first. So we teach them the long way, and then once they've learned the rules, then they can then use their power rule to go back and check whether they have actually got the right answer or not. So that would have been helpful to that one student who ended up with 4x instead of 4x minus 1.
Exactly.
Okay, so now the Miro. Sorry.
So yeah, Matt, you're still recording, by the way. Lee, could we just